day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year. Barbers come into my shop. They watch me produce at a high level every day. I tag them in my posts every day. I post every day. And I do all these things. I see anywhere from 10 people on a slow day to 30 people on a busy day. I produce at a high level consistently, and yet nobody asked me for any advice. Nobody asked me for any pointers. Nobody asked me, what what they could do better based on what I see. And they don't have to. Like, I want to make that clear. They don't have to. But instead of people taking my advice, they make suggestions. They suggest I spend more money on marketing. They suggest I spend more money on advertising. They suggest I buy billboards. They suggest I get radio ads. They suggest I buy street signs. Like, they make all these suggestions on what I should do instead of listening to my advice as a shop owner and a very busy barber. And I don't necessarily know that I would call it jealousy, but I would call it envy. I would call it competition. I would call it entitlement. And I feel like a lot of barbers feel like they are entitled to what I have, but they do not feel responsible or accountable to how I got it. And I feel like a lot of time it's easier for people to just complain about things than to take accountability and fix things themselves. I recently had a guy leave the shop that sat right next to me for 9 months. And on his way out, I asked him, what he'd learned from me. And he said nothing. And I thought, damn, that's crazy. That's crazy. And again, it's there's nothing wrong with it. Everybody works for themselves. They're their own business entity. But the fact that someone could sit next to me, watch me work do countless cuts a day, every day, and not take it upon themselves to say, why is he so busy all the time? What is he doing differently than I'm doing? Why are people coming to him at the rate that they are not coming to me? It is crazy to me how someone can be around such a high producer and not decide to learn something. The guy never asked me any questions. I saw him struggling a few times and I made suggestions, and it wasn't ever anything he felt like he needed to adopt as his own. He never really received my advice and internalized it and made any tangible effort to implement my suggestions. And again, that's okay. But the reason I'm making this video on this topic is I want people to understand, when you work for yourself, when you were a 1099, you are responsible for your success. It is not the shop owner's job. It is not the shop owner's responsibility. I saw this guy, Cold Cuts, simping for likes and views, talking about if your barbers aren't ready to open up a shop, after spending time in your shop, you as an owner have failed. Bro, you are caping, you are simping for likes, because not everybody's meant to be a shop owner. Not everybody wants to be a shop owner. The shop owner's responsibility is to make sure the shop is taken care of, not to produce anything other than, like, the shop owner's job is not to make, minions or, clones of themselves. It is up to you as a grown adult to decide, what do you want for your career? Do you want to be a shop owner? If so, then you come to me with questions. What grown adult is going to take another adult forcing them information? You can't tell nobody nothing. You can't tell nobody nothing these days. Everybody know every damn thing. I have so many barbers that come into my shop, and instead of taking advice from me, they make suggestions. They don't know how to make themselves successful, but they got suggestions for me how to make them successful. So the idea that me as a shop owner, I'm supposed to be teaching people and making them do things, I can't make anybody learn nothing they don't want to hear. And it's not my job. It's not my responsibility. I'm not their father. These are grown adults. If they decide They want my help. I'm here for it. That's why I make content every day. And as a matter of fact, I tag every barber in my shop every day. So they have an opportunity to listen, they have an opportunity to watch, and they have an opportunity to experience all of the things that I speak about in my shop on a daily basis. And it's up to them. If they decide they want to do something with that information, they can. But if they decide they don't want to, that's cool too. But the issue that I have is that a lot of time I get the complaints. And then I'm left to pick up the pieces when they decide that my shop ain't where they can be successful, even though they aren't applying themselves to the level that they should. And I always tell them, no matter where you go, there you are. You take your habits, you take your productivity, you take everything with you somewhere else. So if you can't be successful in this location, what makes you think you'll be successful somewhere else? I digress. I am Sean Cuss H on all social media. Please let me know what you guys think in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this topic. I stream daily on TikTok, Twitch, Kick, YouTube, and sometimes Facebook, and more recently Instagram. Let all the button do all the things. Thank you for your time.